Today we are cooking protein jelly. Hello creature lovers and welcome to the universe. My name is Martin and today we're gonna make a protein jelly snack. In this case it's designed for my roaches, but it will also work with snails. We will try that out. And we have some things to talk, but we do it afterwards. So let's go down and start with the ingredients. First, I show you all ingredients and then I will say the one or other sentence to the one or another ingredient. First, we start with 500 milliliter of fruit juice. Actually, those are 300 milliliters, but you will know why in a short time, because this is 25 grams of whey protein. Whey protein has all the 10 required essential amino acids for insects. Next, we have agar-agar, 8 grams. Then we have 25 grams of dextrose or grape sugar. And we have 25 grams of honey. Not a lot to say about the fruit juice. It's basically only for look and taste, because all of the vitamins in there will be gone when it's boiled. So you could use water, but that doesn't look that nice. Next is protein. I think I don't need to explain that. Protein is for protein. It is a protein snack. And whey protein is pretty good because it has all 10 essential amino acids insects need. But if you want to use it for beetles, at least what I have read, flower beetles can't digest animal protein. So if you use it for beetles, you should substitute it with pea protein, soy protein, or something like that. Agar only is for the right consistency. Consistency must be the right word. I mean for binding all together. And we have two different sugars. Dextrose just as a sugar source, and honey also because it's antifungal and antibacterial. That's to the ingredients. What also is really important, this really is a protein snack. We are missing vitamins, we are missing minerals, so this is no whole food source, this is just a supplemental food. We're working on the vitamins and the minerals. This is version 1.0. 2.0 will be coming, at least I hope so. But now let's go down to the processing. The requirements on this cooking project are really, really small. You need something to heat or boil something else up. You need something to stir, and you need a pot. And here's an absolute pro tip for all my fellows out there. Use an already, up pot, because then your wife won't kill you if you mess it up again. I think you will better see it when we film in the pot. So we will change the camera position now, and the position for the cooking will be a little bit more boring, but my voice will turn that around, I hope so. We start with the 300 milliliter of fruit juice. And the stove isn't on, there is no heat at the moment, because we need to mix in the agar as long as the liquid is cold. And you should stir it as long as it is completely dissolved. Because if you don't stir it in as long as it's cold, it will clump up immediately. Now we start the oven and boil it up. And as soon as it's heated up a bit, now we will wait a little bit longer. That's not hot enough. And now we will mix in the dextrose bit by bit. It will dissolve pretty quickly at the temperature. And now we wait until it boils, which is now. And now we let it boil for about 2 minutes. And after it boiled for 2 minutes, we turn the stove off, start again by stirring it up a bit, and then we get the protein and mix it in pretty gentle, bit by bit. And I was worried about the foam in the protein, but as it looks, the foam stays in the container. And after we're done with that, the next step, mixing in about 25 gram of honey. That looks good. Normally I would mix in the honey a bit later because of the antibacterial and antifungal ingredients. But in this case, we can mix it in right now because the jelly won't last very long. Now we let it cool down a little bit, and then we can fill it into containers. And the next step is we fill it into containers. The containers are much too big for the amount of jelly, but I split it up. And what I like to do before I put the lid on it, I take a piece of paper towel and put it in between the lid because that absorbs the excess moisture from the steam. And now we let it sit overnight. And this is how the finished product looks like. I'm not sure if you can see it, but here with this jelly I was trying to mix in the whey protein as and not mixed the protein with liquid before I started mixing it in, and it clumped up everywhere. There are everywhere little protein clumps inside here. Now you know how we make our jelly at the moment. This is 1,000,000 times better than any inexpensive jelly you can buy, no matter which brand. For my knowledge, there are some really, really good brands out there, but none of the big ones and none of the ones from Asia so far. I don't know them all, but the ones I know are just sugar, agar, and water. What you need to know is all I'm telling you here, it comes from my research on the internet and from my own experience. I am not a scientist, so if I'm wrong on something, feel free to correct me down in the comments. And what else is to consider? This is artificial food. There are things missing inside, even when we put vitamins and minerals inside and say it's a whole food source. There will still be things missing. Fiber comes to my mind first. I don't know how important it is for in an insect diet, but it comes to my mind. So please have in mind when you make your own jelly, make sure you still feed natural food. Feed veggies, feed leaf litter, and use this as a treat, as a protein treat. It is artificial, but it is pretty cool. If you store it in the fridge, it will last for weeks. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, subscribe if you haven't. It's just fun cooking with Martin. Have a great day. Wish you all the best and see you in the universe. Bye bye.